Senator Lynn Ruane. 4 minutes.
Thank you, Cathaoirleach. And thank you, Minister, for taking this commendable matter this morning. I am today raising the issue of the second SAVI report, which your government has committed to, and which will investigate and survey the levels of sexual violence and abuse experienced by men and women in Ireland. It has been 16 years since the first SAVI report was published in 2002, and in light of just how much our understanding of sexual violence has changed so much since then, it's high time we updated the state data and looked at the issue and the realities on the ground once more. Breda Allen, in the opening words of the 2002 SAVI report, stated that this is a groundbreaking study, the importance of which cannot be overestimated. These words have only grown truer in the past decade and a half, especially in light of recent developments in the Me Too movement and the breaking of a powerful and shaming silence, allowing women to come forward and speak about the abuse of power and sexual harassment that they have experienced. You'll be aware, Minister, that the figures released this week from the Rape Crisis Centre showed an increase in 10% of the reporting of sexual crimes in the past year. However, even this increase is only one part of the picture, as we all know the huge numbers of sex crimes go unreported. The need for another SAVI report to give us an accurate picture on the ground of the experiences of survivors of sexual violence in this country is so important, and I hope today you are able to confirm a timeline and details of how this will happen. Minister, we keep sharing our stories, baring our souls and laying ourselves bare for all to see. We risk questions, judgments and hope that no one pokes away at the emotional scars our sexual assaults have left us with. I carried a shame that wasn't mine for 5 years before I told anyone what happened to me, and I waited another 3 before I went to the Rape Crisis Centre. I'm not alone. Don't let the laying bare publicly of all that we have endured be for nothing. For the last 2 weeks since I shared what happened to me on RTE, I've been inundated with hundreds of letters and mails from women and girls on every part of this island. Some sat in their sitting rooms with their families, and as I said those words that I was raped, they found themselves saying the same for the very first time in the seconds after I spoke. That is the power of sharing, and you have the ability and the resources to take those experiences and transform them into action. Some people may never be able to speak to another person about their experience of sexual assault, much less a guard. But just because someone cannot report does not mean they should be invisible. We need a survey that goes into the communities and can reach survivors in their own surroundings and translate their experiences and their pain and sharing that part of themselves into a better understanding of the realities of sexual violence, the barriers to access in law enforcement, medical and therapeutic services for those abused and their families, and how best the state can do better and respond to this. That's what I'm calling for today, Minister, and I hope you are able to share the steps that you and your department will be taking to start the second SAVI process and begin a better understanding and national conversation about sexual violence survivors and their experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Minister.